In the Lesson 11 cooldown, we're looking at a pot of water, and we're given a function w that tells us the temperature as a function of time. So in other words, our input is time, which is measured in minutes, and our output is temperature, which is measured in degrees Fahrenheit. So in this problem, we are asked a few different questions about the function. First, we are asked, is 250 in the range of function w? Well, I know that range is talking about the possible outputs, so I need to see, do I have an output, in other words, do I have a temperature that hits 250 in this function? And I can look here and I can see 250 is up here, but my graph never gets up to 250. So 250 is not in the range of the function w. The temperature never gets that high. Now problem 2 asks us to now go one step further and actually describe the range of the function. So we want to know, well, what does my function have for possible outputs? Or in other words, what's the lowest possible output, and what's the highest possible output of this pot of water on the stove? So I can see by looking at the graph that the lowest my function ever reaches is right here, which is 75 degrees. And the highest it ever reaches is right here, which is about 212 degrees. So that means here that the range for this function is any temperature from 75 degrees Fahrenheit to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. The last problem they ask us to think about is, does w of t equals 0 have a solution? Or in other words, does my output ever reach 0? Well, I can see from the graph that my function never reaches a temperature of 0. So this does not have a solution. The temperature never reaches 0. Oh, and I realized I forgot a word up in problem 1. The temperature never gets that high. And there's all 3 problems from our cooldown.